Come. Today, first of all, I am going to see the layers of anterior abdominal wall. As you can see, in the anterior abdominal wall, skin and superficial fossa. Skin is removed, and as you can see, this is the superficial fossa. So, two layers are covered, skin and superficial fossa. After that, deep fossa is absent in the anterior abdominal wall. Okay. So, after that, the layer which we are watching here is what? This is external oblique muscles, and after external oblique muscles we are watching this one is internal oblique muscles. And as you can see, this is the continuation of this part only. So this is the anterior lamina of internal oblique muscles. Okay, this is the anterior lamina of internal oblique muscles, and you can see this is clearly posterior lamina of internal oblique muscles. Okay, and behind to these layers, this layer is what? This layer is transversus abdominis muscles. Okay, so before going to transversus abdominis muscles, this is external oblique, this is the anterior lamina of internal oblique, this is the posterior lamina of internal oblique, and in between the anterior and posterior lamina of internal oblique, one muscles is present, that is rectus abdominis muscles. Okay, rectus abdominis muscles. As you can see clearly, this is the rectus abdominis muscles which is present in between the anterior and posterior lamina of internal oblique muscles. And in this rectus abdominis muscles, 3 to 4 tendinous intersections are present. Okay, as you can see here, tendinous intersections are some visible also. So in these 2 packs, 4 packs, 6 packs, and all these are formed. Okay, and after that, this rectus abdominis muscles from lower part here, pyramidalis muscles are also coming till the linea alba. Okay, so let me go deeper now. Okay, so posterior lamina of internal oblique, as you can see, after that the layer which we are watching here is what? Fossa transversalis layer. Okay, this is the fossa transversalis layer, this one is fossa transversalis layer, and in between after fossa transversalis layer there are some peritoneal connective tissue present. Okay, some peritoneal connective tissue present, and then parietal peritoneum layers are present. Okay, during dissection these layers has been removed. Okay, no problem. So come closer, and after removing all these 8 layers of anterior abdominal wall, we will be watching this omentum. Okay, this is called the greater omentum. Let me remove this clearly. So this is the greater omentum. Okay, so you can see greater omentum anteriorly, it is attached to the greater curvature of the stomach. So you can see this is the stomach. Okay, this is the stomach, and posteriorly it is attached to the transverse colon. Okay, so as you can see, the greater omentum is attached to the transverse colon. So this is greater omentum. While we are doing dissection, we are flipping this greater omentum this way in order to see the viscera. Okay, so let me show you the viscera part. As you can see, this is the intestines. Okay, so focus clearly over here. This is what? This is the see, duodenum part. Okay, this is duodenum. Okay, this is duodenum. So the continuation of duodenum is what? Jejunum. You can see this part is jejunum. Okay, this is looking like having a smooth muscles inside, and highly coiled part. After that we will be watching ileum. In ileum, crypts of Pibercorne are present, and as you can see, mesentery are present in the ileum part. Okay, and the arcades of arteries are also supplied in the ileum. So you can see this ileum, and okay, ileum, it is going and opening in the cecum. Where it is going and opening in the cecum. Okay, you can see clearly it is visible over here. This is the cecum, and from cecum vermiform appendix is attached. So you can see clearly this is the vermiform appendix. See, this is vermiform appendix. This is the cecum. Vermiform appendix, it is clearly visible, and this is the cecum. And after cecum, we are watching. This is the colon. Which colon? Ascending colon. So you can see clearly ascending colon. There is no mesentery and all that in ascending colon, and after ascending colon this becomes transverse colon. As you can see, this is the transverse colon clearly. This transverse colon descends downwards. Here you can see this is the descending colon. Okay, this is the descending colon. Now after descending colon, you have learned that sigmoid colons are present. As you can see clearly, this is the sigmoid colon, a separate structure. Okay, this is the sigmoid colon, and this sigmoid colons opens into what? Rectum. You can see clearly this is the rectum, and after that it stools passes to the anal canal and defecated outside. So this was the duodenum part. Okay, duodenum, jejunum and ileum I have covered along with cecum, vermiform, appendix. Now I am going to show you one another viscera, important viscera, that is uterus and ovary. Okay, as you can see clearly, this is the uterus. What is this? This is the uterus. This part is uterus. This part is uterus, and along with this uterus you can see clearly this is the uterine tube. This part is uterine tube, and it is attached to the here see infundibulum part and all that, and this is the ovary. Okay, this is the right ovary, and you can see this is the left ovary, and these are both are, this is uterine tube. Okay, and this is the uterus. And after that, the important viscera which I am going to cover in the that is present in the posterior abdominal wall, that is kidney. Okay, kidney. So as you can see this part clearly you can see this is, okay, as you can clearly see this is what? This is the left kidney. Okay, this is the left kidney present in the posterior abdominal wall. This is kidney. Have you seen kidney? Okay, now right kidney is present just right side. Okay, this is the kidney. Now after kidney, the important viscera which I am going to cover is liver. Okay, so as you can see, this is the focus the light, this is the liver. Okay, this is the liver, this is the left lobe of the liver. As you can see inside there is it's been clearly visible that caudate lobe of the liver. Okay, this part is the caudate lobe of the liver, and it extends till this part. This liver, as you can see, this extends up to this part. Okay, this part is completely liver, as you can see this is. Okay, and you can see this is the gallbladder. Okay, gallbladder is clearly visible over here. This is the gallbladder, liver, and after that and you can see this is the stomach. Okay, stomach is also visible, and behind the stomach in the C-separate duodenum in the second part, this you can see this is pancreas which is present over there. Okay, this is the pancreas, this is the stomach, this is the stomach, and after that another viscera which is present lateral to the stomach, that is spleen. Okay, let me bring this spleen outside and let me show you guys. As you can see, this is the spleen. Is it visible? So this is a spleen. Okay, so this is the spleen I have brought outside. Okay, spleen. To this spleen you can see clearly splenic artery and all that are there intact. That splenic artery gives 4 to 5, 6 and hilar branches inside the spleen. So this were the viscera, and once again I want to show you in thorax part. You can see clearly this is the left lungs. Okay, this is the left lungs. In fact, you are watching this horizontal fissure also, and this is the right lungs. You can see this is clearly right lungs, and the most important organ of our body, the heart, you can clearly see this is the heart. Okay, you can see this is the heart, this is the heart part. Okay, this is the heart. I have shown you heart, lungs. In fact, I have shown you duodenum, uterus, cecum, vermiform appendix, liver, gallbladder, stomach, kidney, spleen. All these things I have covered. Okay, so greater omentum you have seen, and the lesser omentum which is present behind the stomach. Lesser omentum present behind the stomach, and foramen, that is epiploic foramen, which connects the greater omentum and lesser omentum. Okay, so now I am going to cover the celiac trunk. Okay, which is the branch of abdominal aorta. Now celiac trunk will be covered. Okay, so you see clearly the thing which I am gonna show you, that is celiac trunk. Celiac trunk at the lower border of T12. The abdominal aorta gives a branch, that is celiac trunk, and celiac trunk gives 3 branches. Okay, so first branch you can see clearly this one. Okay, this is the splenic artery, as you can see clearly coming from celiac trunk, and another branch left epigastric artery. Okay, as you can see, this is the left epigastric artery. Is it visible? This is the left epigastric artery. You can see this is the left epigastric artery, and this is the celiac trunk. Splenic artery. This is the left epigastric artery, and another branch you can see clearly here, that is common hepatic artery. You can see this is common hepatic artery. Okay, let me show you by putting finger inside. This is focus here. This is the common hepatic artery, and this one which I am showing, this one was splenic artery, and this one was you can see this one clearly, this one was left epigastric artery. Okay, let me show you by forceps once again. This is left epigastric, focus, and this is a splenic artery, and this is the common hepatic artery. Okay, common hepatic artery will give duodenal branch as it is present at the lower part. Okay, it is as you can see, this is the spleen, so obviously second part of duodenum will be there. So in the first part of duodenum there will be gonadal duodenal artery. Okay, gastroduodenal artery that will give anterior and posterior pancreatic duodenal artery branch, and common hepatic artery is going that side. This one is common hepatic artery. It will give right epigastric artery branch that will come, and it will anastomose with left gastric artery. So common hepatic artery which I have shown you, it will also give again further to right hepatic artery proper, and that will again give two branches, left and right branch. Left will give what? Right will give the right lobe of liver, left will go to the left lobe of liver, and again from left lobe cystic artery will come, which will provide it will give to branch to the gallbladder. Leave this. Let me show you the important thing which I am gonna show you, that is what? This is abdominal aorta. As you can see, this is the abdominal aorta. Is it clearly visible? This is abdominal aorta, it is clearly visible. Okay, and this is the abdominal aorta, and this is the L3 level. So you can see at L3 level a branch which is coming from abdominal aorta, that is inferior mesenteric artery. You can see clearly this is inferior mesenteric artery, it is visible. Okay, coming from abdominal aorta, and besides abdominal aorta your inferior vena cava is present. Okay, so you can see clearly this is the inferior vena cava. Okay, this is inferior vena cava, it is looking, and this is the abdominal aorta. You are watching clearly both the blood vessels, abdominal aorta and inferior vena cava, both are visible, and you have seen the inferior mesenteric artery. And at the level of L1, you can see at the level of L1 the artery which is coming, that is superior mesenteric artery. Okay, so let me show you superior mesenteric artery. You can see, I think this one is superior mesenteric artery, and this one is inferior mesenteric artery. And at the level of L4, you can see clearly at the level of L4, this abdominal aorta gives two branches, common iliac artery. Okay, right common iliac artery and left common iliac artery. So you can see this is the this is the left common iliac artery, this is the right common iliac artery. You are watching this clearly, both this iliac artery, it is visible, giving two branches, two passes. And once again at the level of L5, it will give two branches, external iliac artery and internal iliac artery, which we will be seeing after doing dissections. You can see it is visible over here at this level, giving two branches. Okay, this one and this one. Is it visible? Two branches. Okay, one branch and another branch. Let me show you by using forceps. Okay, so this one and this one, these two branches at the level of L5, and this is the two branches at the level of L4. So this was all about abdominal aorta and common iliac artery, internal and external iliac artery, superior inferior mesenteric artery, superior inferior mesenteric artery. In between you can see gonadal artery, renal artery, giving suprarenal branches also. Okay, as you can see, these are, I think so. Okay, you can see clearly this is the renal, and this is a renal branch. Okay, going to supply the kidney, present over here, which I have told here. You can see clearly. Okay, this was for today. And as you can see, one more artery, let me show you. In the anterior abdominal wall, the artery which I have missed, that was, you can see here clearly, Let me show you. This one was what? This in rectus sheath you will be covering the content of rectus sheath is what? You will be covering the content of rectus sheath was rectus abdominis muscles and pyramidalis muscles and blood supply were inferior epigastric and superior epigastric artery. So clearly you can see this is the inferior epigastric artery. From downwards it is coming from external iliac artery, okay, and from above superior epigastric artery is coming to supply, and both inferior and superior and inferior epigastric